What's up guys, my name is Aaron and this is going to be my review of Captain America Civil War. It's the final movie in the Captain America trilogy and it's the 13th movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It stars Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Sebastian Stan, and Anthony Mackie, and just a bunch of other people that you already know the names of. It's a massive movie. It's a superhero movie that follows the events of Avengers Age of Ultron, and it shows the repercussions of like the civilian casualties and stuff. You have Captain America on one side who believes that the superheroes shouldn't be subjected to government intervention, and then Iron Man is on the other side and he thinks that they should have to, kind of check in with the government to make sure what they're doing is right. So they kind of fracture off, and then you have all those superheroes going to each other side. It also continues the arc of Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. It establishes the characters of Black Panther and Spider-Man, and it kind of furthers the storylines of all the recurring characters. So far in the actual MCU, the Captain America series has been my favorite. I just love the kind of grounded take they've been taking with this character who could kind of be like a goofy type of kind of super patriotic character, and like I've been a huge fan, especially since after I saw Winter Soldier, which is probably one of my favorite superhero movies of all time, directed by the Russo brothers. I love the tease in Avengers of Age of Ultron where it kind of shows Captain America and Iron Man kind of talking about their differences in philosophy and stuff. And since I love all the characters in this movie, I was just gonna be in regardless. I love that the MCU feels like a TV show where you kind of check in on these characters every few months. And the major reason I love this movie is because of the characters. I'm just gonna kind of do like the highlights, like my favorite characters in the movie. You have Paul Rudd plays Ant-Man. Paul Rudd's been my favorite actor since before the MCU, so seeing him in kind of the biggest superhero franchise right now is really crazy to me. I just love that he brings his like kind of everyman kind of dumb humor to these movies, and you kind of relate to him because he's kind of amazed that he's in this universe too. So it's really funny to see him kind of play off of that. And even though he's like kind of barely in the movie, I just love the humor that he does bring to the movie. I love Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch, and I love Paul Bettany as Vision. I loved Elizabeth Olsen's like kind of humanity that she brought to the character. She feels like regret and she feels guilt over the things that she's done in previous movies and like in this movie too, and you kind of relate to her that way. And then I thought the Vision was like really underratedly funny. I liked his kind of like stoic, serious nature, how he responded to things that the universe is throwing at him, and then just like the image of him with his purple like skin, and then you see like him in like regular clothes is really funny to me. And then like the chemistry between those characters is really weirdly good, and you could tell that they both care about each other, and it's really kind of compelling to see. Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther was so amazing. Like I'm so hyped for the solo movie that he's coming out with. I didn't really know a lot about the character before going into the movie, but this really makes me want to like stock up on my knowledge of him. He's like royalty. He's like a king of his nation, and so he does bring like a kind of different, more pragmatic approach to this superhero business. He's more serious about this stuff, and he's also super vengeful about things that happen in the movie, so it becomes really compelling to see him kind of go into action and stuff. And the action with his character was so good, like it really felt like a cat, and he was very agile and very quick, and it was really cool to watch. I'm really excited to see him as Black Panther in his solo movie. Ryan Coogler is directing the movie, and he's one of my favorite directors in Hollywood right now, so just seeing those two collaborate is just going to be super amazing to me. Tom Holland as Spider-Man, I was kind of Spider-Man out because I've seen the character 5 times in the last like 15 years, and I didn't know if we needed a third iteration of this character, but they nailed Spider-Man for real. He was actually like a kid, and he looked like a kid, so he brought this youthful energy that you didn't really get since Tobey Maguire. And he's nerdy, but he's also fast talking, and he's very jokey like how he is in the comic books. He's not rich, so he's like scavenging for equipment and scavenging for stuff, and I just love that aspect of the character. The action with him was really great. It felt like Spider-Man, and I'm just really excited to see where this character is going to be able to go. Sebastian Stan as Winter Soldier was really good too. I love his arc going throughout like Captain America, the First Soldier, all the way up to now. I love that he's being used as a tool by Hydra, and they use him through mind control. So he's a victim to things that people are doing to him, and he's not really in control of it. It's a very like sad performance, and Sebastian Stan does a really good job like making you feel for his character, even though he's doing terrible things and it's not in his control, but you really do feel for his character. The central two characters, Captain America and Iron Man, are of course great. They did a great job like making you understand why they're doing the things that they're doing. And Iron Man in particular was really emotional, and he really gets a really good like emotional arc. Robert Downey Jr. does a really good job like portraying that, and you really get to see his acting skills with the, you know, comedy that you expect from him. And I love like the balance between comedy and drama in the movie. The Russo brothers are television directors primarily. They've directed some of like the most like cult comedy shows of the last few years. Shows like Happy Endings, Community, and Arrested Development. So you know that they were going to be able to handle the comedy stuff, like the visual gag of Vision in the, you know, regular clothes, Ant-Man in general, and just the banter that the characters have between each other. But they know how to get more serious too, like the stuff with the Scarlet Witch, the stuff with the Winter Soldier, and then the conflict between Captain America and Iron Man. And you really get that balance that you need in a movie like this. It's not too light and it's not too dark. It's just like the perfect balance. And the action scenes were handled really well too for, you know, comedy TV directors. I'm not a huge fan of like modern action scenes. Like I hate how it's like very choppy and very hard to follow, but this movie is filmed really nice. It's nice crisp edits that you can really tell what's going on between in the scenes. It feels frenetic with scenes too, but it's really easy to follow and stuff. And there's a scene with a motorcycle that was so good. I don't really get excited for action scenes like that, but this scene was really great. It was really something to watch. I thought the conflict in the movie was really compelling. You really feel why Captain America and Iron Man do the things that they do. You understand why like each like kind of minor character goes on each side too, and it makes sense with the kind of arc that they've been doing in this movie and other movies too. And this movie doesn't feel very cluttered at all. There's a bunch of characters in this movie. It feels paced really well. Each character gets their chance to like have a breakout scene and stuff, and even like past that, it still feels like a Captain America movie, which it should at the very like root of it. And then the Russo brothers just did a good job like balancing all these characters and stuff. The villain also wasn't bad. Marvel's had a problem like getting really good villains in their movies, and while this character wasn't like the best superhero villain, you actually understood his motivation, which was nice. He didn't want to like blow up the world like kind of a goofy superhero villain, but he did have a singular reason of why he was doing the things that he did, and it was really interesting to see, even though he wasn't like the best superhero villain. Overall, I thought it was a near perfect superhero movie. I love the characters, the balance between comedy and drama. I love the action in the movie, which is rare for me in a modern action movie. I love the conflict in the movie too, and I love that this movie doesn't feel cluttered with all these characters. And even though the villain wasn't amazing, the villain was just good enough, and that was good enough for me. Overall, this was, like I said, like a near perfect superhero movie, so I would actually give it a 10 out of 10. To me, the best superhero movie since The Dark Knight. I can't wait for the Russo brothers to get a chance to tackle the Infinity Wars. I think that they'll be able to handle, I've heard that those movies are even going to include like the Guardians of the Galaxy and Star-Lord and stuff, so yeah, I'm just really excited to see how they're going to tackle that. Yeah, so overall I'll give it a 10 out of 10. So did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Let me know in the comments what you thought about it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.